So here we are back at the hangar. Still a mess in here. Here's the new spark plug tester I got. It's the Aerospace Champion plug tester. You sandblast your plug and then you test it through here. You blast it. It's a pretty sweet little setup. I got the media for it. Here's what the 172 looks like thus far. I used all the black rivets. All the black rivets with the silver washers. I used a lot of rivets. I put it in every hole. I just feel like it's more secure. And the less holes you have in these with something not in the hole, I feel like it necessarily could be a crack over time from the vibration of this motor. That's just how I've always done. And I'm liking a few more rivets on here. I started running short, so I started sparing them. I like some more down here and folding these over and tying the ends up and stuff like that. But so far, so good. Here I got the wiring done. A lot better than what it was, that's for sure. Alright, let's go over to the other hanger, and out of 20 foot, I got 20 foot of it. Here's how much I have left, probably 10 foot or so. Maybe not even that, probably 5. Yeah, probably more like 5. But ordered some oil filters, and today we're going to change oil. I drained the oil after I done all that work, but I didn't change the filter. And now I'm going to change the oil and the filter, which is going to be a little bit of a job. Just more or less the safety tie. It just takes a little bit of time to get the safety ties right, how I like it, and stuff like that. But we're getting her there. Let's go over to the other hanger. Beautiful day, 182 RG. So here's my other hanger out here. Got the aircraft support equipment in it. There's the neighbor's hanger. Anybody flying today? No. It's a beautiful day not to be. Alright. I got some sort of cough. I don't know what I'm coming down with or what, but excuse me for that. Alright. Alright. Let's turn on the light. This is my aircraft support equipment. I got a fuel tank going on the back of that truck. And there's my little tug. Use that to tug in. The tractor is a tug. And I got my ski in here just because I don't have no room in the other place. So it'll be in here from now on. So here's my vise. And I got a bunch of other little stuff in here. I got my oil filters or my oil and some snacks too. Oh, but yeah, the other hanger I try to keep it less cluttered, and I got some of those hoses, corrosion X, paint, penetrating fluid, hydraulic fluid, motor oil, wrenches, tools, sockets, soap, cleaner, bunch of good stuff. So let's go over here and start the good old 3 hundo. Keys in it, yep. Stuff hasn't been started in about a month or so. Put 100 low lead in this. The way the carb, it's better on the carb when it sits. See if the old John Deere is going to start. Let's see here. Usually this one struggles a little bit. Gotta get my key. I think the battery's getting weak on it, or something to do with the starter. I'm not sure yet. I haven't really looked into it, but this one hasn't been started in about a week or so. Now here comes the fun part. Got a bunch of work done to this place. Got side windows done and all that metal around the bottom, and done some roof work. Made it to where it don't leak. There used to be a puddle about up to the top of your boot here. We had to drill a hole in the concrete to get all the water out. So let's start this up. See if it'll start. Been a while on this one too. Give her a glow plug warming. Alright. Good baby. Nothing like a Ford. So here's what I done to both hangers. I put that flashing basically around the bottom of the buildings, and occasionally the people that do the land maintenance around the airport have a tendency to hit the edge of the building. So I wanted to put something in the corner of these buildings, so both the front and the back hanger of mine, to keep from, someone on a mower hitting them. So here is the aftermath of the actual aluminum baffling after it was painted. And here's the valve covers with the new hardwiring as well as the intake manifold. And the exhaust manifold were on. I used all new rubber, all new hose clamps. Everything was new. Here's the intake manifold from on the other side, actually, as well with the exhaust manifold mounted. I used all new hardware on everything. Replaced some of the plugs, painted the old pan as you guys know from the last video, and yeah, I mean, it's turned out really good. And I was showing where I was going to rerun that new wire, or that wiring from the spark plugs, which I did. And also I got it started. I'm not necessarily going to include it in this video. Update. The muffler's the shielding is a little bent up. I was going to take it off and beat it out, but I'll just replace that later down the road. Here's what it looks like so far. I'm really satisfied with it. I just got to do some cleaning. I've left some dirty marks on it and stuff, and it'll look really good. Yeah, man. Here is the baffling on both right and left side, and the oil breather tubes on. The new hoses, new hose clamps. I was showing here the attention to detail, of course, of what I done to the breather line to separate it from the vacuum pump line. I used two P clamps and a bolt, which is what I usually do, but I was just showing that. It's looking good so far. Here's another shot as well. I was really, I guess you could say, obsessed with the aftermath of what I've done, because I put in a lot of hours in this. Actually, I've put close to around 250 hours in this, believe it or not. Just the fact from sanding down all my material and refinishing it and repainting it and doing all that and sorting out the parts as well with the labor. It was very labor intensive, of course, with this not being my full-time thing. Of course, on everything I gotta do voiceovers because I have music playing in the background and YouTube don't like the music, so here he is. I was putting the spark plugs in, and I was cleaning the lead out and lead out of the plugs and checking them and all that. And one on the back number 1 cylinder lower plug was fouled, and actually I even dropped it as well, so it worked out perfectly. I just went ahead and replaced it, and this was right before I was getting ready to start it actually, and tested all the functions and everything. It checked good. Here's another picture I was showing before I reran the spark plug wires. There's a before and a after. If you ask me, it turned out pretty doggone sweet. And here's the upper plugs too. They need reran. I was putting on some of the rubber too. I was really trying to get everything packed in and packed out that night, if you know what I mean. I was trying to get as much done as I could, in other words. And that was both pilot and co-pilot side. That side I got done as well. Because they ran it over the intake manifold, which just did not suit me. So here's up close and personal of what I done to it. Turned out pretty sweet, if you ask me. This is the rubber been done for the most part. I liked a few rivets and cleaning a few of the edges up and whatnot. And also I got to cut off about a 1/2 inch off the front of it because I pushed it too far forward, which makes my cowling too tight. So that's to come too. Here's a Canada airplane that I saw, and I went flying Sunday with a good friend of mine. I done some ILS's approaches, and it was fun.